Oh, JoonGiHan. If you're here drinking by yourself, I might as well join you.
Is that so? Well, I have no reason to tell you no. Do as you like. By the way, Kasuga-san, there's something I should tell you.
Hmm? What's up?
I was contacted by someone in the Komijuru. I've been told a group of people have been looking into me as of late. They seem to have learned that JoonGiHan is somewhere in Ijincho.
No fooling. What's that all about?
No, we don't have much to go on at the moment. Nonetheless, we verified suspicious activity in my wake. That said, if they come seeking hostility, you and the others may be dragged into it along with me.
You know I don't mind getting dragged into your bullshit. We're tight.
That's precisely why I don't want to trouble you.
Don't be stupid. What's a friend for if you can't cause him some trouble every now and then? I welcome it with open arms, in fact. I can handle whatever shady shit you can throw at me.
Such enthusiasm. I can't say I'm not amused.
So, any guess as to who these guys might be?
I can't be 100% certain, but it's highly likely that they're remnants of the Jingon Mafia.
Jingon Mafia? Then they're basically old allies, right?
It's hard to say. To them, I'm just cannon fodder, impersonating their dead boss. Perhaps they see that as unforgivable, in which case their goal would be to punish me.
Punish?
It's possible they'd go so far as to kill me.
Then couldn't we just avoid all this shit by saying you're not JoonGiHan anymore?
Maybe so.
It's gotta be weird being another person forever. It's probably best to just be yourself, right? If I were you, I'd try to get my old name and face back.
A name is one thing. A face, however, it's not something you can change time and time again. Moreover, I'm still waiting for more information on my pursuers. We shouldn't need to take action just yet.
Well, it's your call, so I'm good with that. But won't it be a drag if you get caught with your pants down and you're left wishing you would have been ready?
Right. I'll be sure to keep that in mind.
Man, you're always playing it so fucking cool. Would it kill you to listen to someone else for once?
I'd ask that you refrain from praise. You'll only embarrass me.
It wasn't a damn compliment.
Yes, I'm doing fine. Thank you for your concern, Song-Hui.
Yo, what'd she say?
Oh, nothing. She just asked for an update on the situation. That's all.
Yeah? Bet it feels pretty good knowing a babe like her's looking out for you.
I'm blessed to serve one such as she. The JoonGiHan I served before was quite the blessing as well. If I'm to talk about JoonGiHan, I'll need to provide some backstory.
Cool with me. I got plenty of time.
Ha! Then I hope you're prepared to sit for a while.
Sure, I'm all ears.
My father was one of the stray Jingwon Mafia I mentioned earlier. And to speak further, he was a lowly thug left behind in a foreign land. In my youth, I was relentlessly beaten by my father, in addition to being neglected by those around me. Home, school, no place provided me with even the slightest bit of sanctuary. Thinking back on it, I'm sure I was a rather dissolute child.
Well, you're not alone in feeling like you got no place to go. Plenty of people feel that way, even civilians.
Feelings of isolation are really that common, huh? Not sure if I should be comforted or not.
Sorry, didn't derail the story, did I?
The real JoonGiHan had also been raised in a poor and neglected environment like me. But rumors of his strength, intelligence, and ambition started to swirl. And as the men from my father's generation grew older, JoonGiHan started gaining more and more power. In fact, it was thanks to him that the stray Jingon found any success in Kamurocho at all. While the Tojo clan was being choked by anti-violence laws, the Jingon Mafia were steadily gaining a sense of existence.
Sounds like he must have been pretty cool.
Yes, but my father, who underestimated him as some young greenhorn, failed to prove his worth and was left trying to catch up. A staunch alcoholic, he used what drunken wit he had to try to get close to the young leader. So, eventually he worked out a plan. He would mold his own son's face, set him up as a body double, and offer him as tribute.
What?
I was drugged by my father, and this was done to me while I slept.
No way. He did all that just to impress the boss?
When he was presented with a body double, even the real JoonGiHan could only force a smile. But he saw what had gone into my face, and he respected the effort. So he said it was a fair offer, and took me under his wing.
And what's your father doing now?
He's long since passed away. His health was already in steady decline, and for what it's worth, I'm sure he wasn't opposed to dying at the bottom of a bottle.
That's a shame. Guess you two weren't super close then.
JoonGiHan kept me at his side as much as possible so that I might learn his mannerisms. Strangely enough, it was the only place that finally felt like home. I was very much his servant, and he was very much my master. But in spite of that, we shared a lot of laughs in the long time we spent together. A lot of drinks as well. And though I was his double, it would be rude of me to say that we came to resemble twins.
So the way you're talking right now, that's something JoonGiHan taught you?
The real JoonGiHan had a way with words I never will. And when he walked into a room, you knew it. Try as I might, I would never reach his level.
Hearing you say all that makes me even more curious.
About what, may I ask?
I'm pretty curious how you managed to totally imitate this guy.
Oh?
Changing your face is one thing, but to be able to be just like the guy means you're, like, a master impersonator or some shit.
Unfortunately, it's far more than impersonation. It's a lifestyle, which requires one to change on the inside as well.
Well, sorry for asking about something so stupid then.
Not at all. It's been a long time since I've laughed like this.
But you know, despite me saying sorry, there's still one thing I gotta ask.
And that is?
Isn't it about time you told me your real name? Still a no, huh?
Ha. Just a little taken aback is all. I have no problem telling you. When I was first brought into this world, I was given the name Yeonsu Kim.
Yeonsu Kim.
I have no intention of returning to that name. Not when the real JoonGiHan has already passed away.
The real one took a bullet to the head, yeah?
Correct. There was conflict with a group from Hiroshima that had made its way into Tokyo. As far as I'm concerned, the Jingon Mafia died along with him. At the time, I was given the role of staring down the other hostile groups within Kamurocho as JoonGiHan. But with their real boss dead, the remaining Jingon Mafia in Kamurocho were nothing but paper tigers. Should our enemies have discovered this, we would have been ousted and probably killed.
If it were me, I probably would have gotten the hell out of Kamurocho. Left everything behind.
Yes, that's precisely what I did. The few remaining members at my side did the same. But seeing as the Jingon Mafia was all I'd ever had, I had no place to go. No refuge where I might reconvene with my allies. I was lost and alone in the world, like a man dying of thirst in the desert, surrounded by a hungry pack of wolves.
Sounds like you had it rough.
I found a faint glimmer of hope in the Korean community here in Japan, but even they refused to accept me, as I was nothing but a criminal to them. Thinking on it now, I should have expected as much from those living an honest life. But still, in my confusion and dismay, I challenged them, asking why they would abandon one of their own.
I get that.
It was enough to make them call the police, and I'm sure that under normal circumstances, I would have been taken away. However...
Huh? Come on, man. Don't just leave me hanging.
The police officers were imposters, and instead of being incarcerated, I was brought to my new home, Yokohama Ijincho.
So those fake officers, were they?
Members of the Komijul, sent to retain me under the orders of Songhui. It turned out that the Komijo was a place that many former Jingon members had drifted to. Those that distanced themselves from Kamurocho slowly but surely found their way there.
Oh yeah. Songhui did mention something about the Komijul having roots in the Jingon Mafia.
Indeed. Komijul is essentially a safe haven for refugees. That's why they tend to keep quiet and remain exceedingly closed off. For many years, they spied on the Jingon Mafia in Kamurocho from a distance, keeping close watch on their movements. I was fortunately saved by the hand that the Komijul had extended to me. Moreover, Songhui told me what had happened to the real JoonGiHan. That he had been shot in the head by an assassin hired by the Hiroshima Yakuza, taken by surprise from the shadows.
An assassin? So what'd you guys do? You kill him?
No. By the time I'd learned of his existence, he was already dead. I wasn't even given the chance for revenge. I spent many of the following days in despair. But even though I was in such a hollow state, Songhui patiently waited for my recovery. She was more like family to me than my abusive father could have ever hoped to be. A sister to replace the brother I had found in JoonGiHan. Frankly, nothing would hurt me more than to betray her expectations and disappoint her. And Kasuga-san, as for you and me... I'm wondering what sort of boss you will be. I'm looking forward to seeing what you can do.
I don't remember ever becoming your boss. Right now, I think drinking buddy is a better term, don't you?
I see. Then I will do my best to live up to that title.
Oh, guess that's finally it for introductions. He sure is shy, that young Soo Kim. Yo!
Perfect timing, Kasuga-san. There's something I must tell you.
Huh?
I believe I mentioned that a group was looking for me in and around Ijincho, and that the Komijul were looking into their motives and identities.
Yeah, I remember you saying that. You learn anything new?
Yes. It seems they've disappeared from Ijincho. They've avoided the Komijul's nets at every turn.
Well, that's good. Looks like you can finally rest easy then, huh? I'll buy you a drink.
That's very kind of you. And though I appreciate the thought, I'm afraid I'll have to decline.
How come?
It's possible that the group in question has left the city, and I imagine it's because they found their target.
Their target?
What I mean is, I believe my enemies have already ascertained my location and are waiting for the opportune moment to strike. If that's the case, then they're quite skilled. They've managed to elude the Komijul's eyes this whole time.
But that's bad news, right?
Yes, and for you and everyone else around me, we could fall right into their hands at any moment.
Okay, but that's only if we sit around and wait, right?
What?
No point in being such a stranger. We'll lend you a hand. Let's find these creeps together. Hit them before they hit us. You feel me?
The Komijul have been looking into their whereabouts. Even so, they've proven quite difficult to find. Finding them on our own won't be easy.
So you really think they're Jingang Mafia remnants? You were saying something about that last time, right? That they might be after you because you're using your old boss's name?
Yes, I have no reason to deny that given the circumstances.
Then why not drop the JoonGiHan thing and go back to being Youngsu Kim? I'm guessing there's some reason you can't do that. You don't have to tell me if you don't want to.
No, there's nothing preventing me from doing so. I simply wish to continue being JoonGiHan.
Even if it means being hunted down?
I don't wish to get you or the others involved in the Jingon Mafia's troubles. But it appears to be too late, so I may be troubling you already. Everyone should be on their guard. My pursuers could attack at any time.
You forget who you're talking to or something?
I'm sorry?
We've tangled with both the Yijing 3 and the Omi Alliance guys. We couldn't let our guards down even if we wanted to. Adding the Jingon Mafia to that list ain't gonna make us any less ready.
Interesting. It seems our little party is much tougher than I expected. Then I'm amongst reliable friends. Maybe I am allowed to trouble you after all.
So what now? Do we toast to our new friendship yet?
No, I won't be getting that close. It would be out of character for JoonGiHan.
Keep putting yourself on a pedestal like that and we'll start leaving you out.
Do your best. Watch me.
Let's go! Don't get cocky. Take this. Try this. You wanna fight? Cool. I'm up.
Good times.
Do you need something? I'll be rooting for you.
Well,
I got this. Take your best shot. You're weak.
time to clear the way. We're done here. You're in for it now.
Don't get cocky. Let's go. Okay. Come on. The enemy is defeated.
どちらまで行かれる？それでは出発。
You drinking, Namba?
Oh, Ichiban. I'm glad you're here. We need to talk.
We do? Is it something serious?
Look, I need to tell you I'm sorry for lying.
You mean about chasing the counterfeit bill?
Yeah. Think you can forgive me?
Come on, you know we're past that. What's important is your brother got released. All's well that ends well, right? That said, maybe now's a good time to tell me if there's any other holes in your story. You really were a nurse at some point, right?
Well, of course I was a nurse. How else could I have brought you back from the brink of death?
Good point. Then what about the part where you sold hospital meds? Didn't you say that's how you got your nursing license revoked?
Well, that's the short version, but it's more complicated, actually.
What do you mean?
You'll be the first person I've ever told this to, so I hope you plan on sitting for a while.
Yeah, man, I'm all ears.
Back in elementary school, I read about Florence Nightingale. That's when I knew I was meant to be a nurse. Helping the sick, people being grateful for it, it's all I ever wanted in life. But when I finally put on my scrubs, it was different. Endless late shifts, difficult patients, never a word of thanks. Eventually, I just stopped caring. Little by little, I started cutting corners any way I could. I'd pretend not to hear the intercom, and instead, I'd go doze off somewhere. By the time I hit 40, I had no idea why I ever went into the field. But then one day, this new girl named Mizue showed up. And in her introduction, she brought up who else but Nightingale.
Just like you, huh?
We had the same role model, but she still had her spirit. She would rush toward every patient in the ward, never missed a beat. On top of that, she always had the sweetest smile.
So, you had a thing for her.
Are you kidding me? She was 23 and a looker, and I was just a middle-aged loser.
Come on, man. You know as well as I do, age is only a number. What you need, my friend, is passion. A healthy heart, you know?
I'd be more likely to have a heart attack thinking like that.
Dude, I'm sure you were crazy passionate about the job back when you got hired.
Maybe I was. Still don't see her point. Whenever I saw her working, I could feel my old self coming back. That young version of me, who used to give it his all.
That's a good sign.
If only I had half her stamina and wasn't twice her age. Anyway, one night I was a little sleepier than usual. So I went out to the back lawn, thinking maybe I could sneak in a nap. And suddenly, I heard a noise from behind. I turned around to find the storeroom we keep the medicine in wide open. And Mizue-chan was walking out alone.
Was she restocking? I mean, if you were slacking off, she was probably having to bust her ass.
Well, that's the thing. In our hospital, only the pharmacists have access to the storeroom. Mizue-chan and I were just nurses. We didn't even need to go in there.
Then what was she doing?
Well, at the time, there was a rumor floating around the hospital.
Uh-oh.
Medicine would keep disappearing. The list never matched the inventory. According to the rumors, someone was swiping medicine and selling it. Illegally.
No way. And that was Mizue-chan?
It was. As my eyes adjusted, I could clearly see her arms were full of medicine boxes.
But why would she need to sell medicine?
From what I heard, her parents were under a mountain of debt. So, to lighten some of their load, Mizue-chan was paying everything she could. But a single nurse's salary wouldn't get them out of the hole. No way.
So she was stealing the meds to do it?
Yep. And I was the sole eyewitness. Thing is, Mizue-chan never noticed me there. Now, if it was you, Ichiban, what would you have done?
Well, Calling her out on it would seem to be the right thing to do. But I guess she wasn't stealing it just to be a criminal, huh?
Not in the slightest. She was only doing it for her family. I mean, yeah, she was breaking the law, but she wasn't trying to hurt anyone.
Plus, getting caught would cost her her job. Then the debt would only have gotten worse. With all that in mind, I'd say it's a pretty tough call to make.
Now you're on the same page I was. Anyway, in the end, all I could do was watch her walk away without saying a word. If there ever was a criminal who deserved a free pass, it was Mizue-chan. That was what I thought at the time, so I turned a blind eye.
And what happened after that?
It wasn't long before Mizue-chan's actions caught up with her. The hospital director decided to get the police involved and started gathering evidence.
He waited that long to take action?
Well, he was trying to resolve it internally, being that the hospital's reputation was at stake. I guess he got sick of having a thief under his nose, so he escalated it to the next logical step.
But if the cops caught Mizue-chan stealing, that'd be bad news.
She'd have a police record and her name in all the papers. To be honest, it was only a matter of time. She had her whole life ahead of her. How could that happen to someone so young? And on the other hand, you've got me. A guy who totally burned out. A guy who couldn't be further from Florence Nightingale. Better a saint like Mizue-chan stay at the hospital than a sack of shit like me, wouldn't you say?
Namba? Are you telling me you...
Yeah. I went up and confessed to the whole thing. Stealing, selling, and all.
And that's how you lost your nursing license?
Yep. No, and I got fired too, naturally.
Man, you went all out for that girl. Did she ever contact you after that? Even a call or a letter?
Not that I'm aware. In a matter of hours, I was out of a job and out on the streets.
You regret any of it?
Well, my brother disappeared not long after, so even if I didn't get canned, I would have quit on my own anyway. So, no, to answer your question. Though I do have to admit, I would like to see Mizue-chan off when she goes overseas.
She's going overseas?
Yeah. She always dreamed of running off to some developing country where they really need medical professionals.
She took that Nightingale shit seriously.
Our hospital had an international dispatch program available to staff nurses with at least 3 years tenure. This year would be Mizue-chan's third, and I know she would take advantage of it.
Well, in that case, why not go say farewell?
If only I could. For starters, I don't even know when she leaves.
Maybe if you ask one of your old nurse buddies, they'll tell you.
Don't be ridiculous. I'm the little rat who stole the medicine, if you forgot that detail. They want nothing to do with me.
Well, hello, boys. Don't worry, the life of the party's here. Care to bring me up to speed?
Oh, Sachan. Wait, are you drunk?
I think you're drunk. Now, fill me in, if you please.
Oh, Namba here was going off on one of his hobo horror stories again.
Hobo horror stories?
Well, no house means no toilet, right? Care to guess what he had to do when he had the shits?
Yeah, I'd rather not. And here I was thinking I'd get actual substance out of two grown men instead of literal crap.
Thanks for covering for me.
I got you, man.
I don't mind if we let Sayoko know at some point, but preferably not when she's plastered.
Yeah, no kidding. Yo, bartender! What's up with this one here? If nobody's drinking it, can I have it?
Shit. Could you be any more of a cheapskate? JoonGiHan was just sitting there.
JoonGiHan? Well, he ain't here now. Where the hell he go?
Dunno. Went somewhere in a hurry. Looked like he got a phone call and rushed out.
A phone call? Hope those Jingon guys aren't causing any trouble for him. I'm guessing this wasn't more than a few minutes ago?
Yeah. You pretty much just missed each other.
Got it. I'll go see if I can find him then. What's so important it gets you to leave your drink behind, huh, JoonGiHan? Oh, shit. Yo, fancy seeing you here.
Are you not embarrassed?
I don't do embarrassed.
I've been aware of your presence from the moment you started following me. I pretended not to notice because I didn't want to embarrass you in front of others. Hence, my bringing you to a place so secluded.
Really? Okay, I'm a little embarrassed.
Kasuga-san, you were worried about me, were you not? I can't say I blame you. It just so happens I'm currently in a position where I could use your help.
Huh?
Where I'm going will be difficult to access alone. Would you care to accompany me?
Oh, an invitation from the great JoonGiHan himself, huh?
It's nice every once in a while, is it not?
The hell is this place? A strip club? Doesn't look like they're up and running.
Yes, your assessment is correct.
What gives? Why'd we come here?
I should fill you in. You are not the only one following me, Kasuga-san. However, they would have never revealed themselves while under the Komijo's gaze.
Then you knew we were watching. Is that right, Yansu? Come now. Why isolate yourself like this?
I'm not Yansu. I am JoonGiHan. It's certainly been a while, though, hasn't it?
So the fake wants to become the boss. You think we'd let you get away with that?
Wait, these guys are...
Yes, they're survivors of the Jingon Mafia. They came here after hearing whispers of JoonGiHan's name. According to the Komijo, 7 of them have been watching me throughout Ijincho. I had recently learned that they had closed in on my location, which meant that I could take them all down at once.
And that's why you lured them here.
They would have been too much to handle on my own. But fortunately, Kasuga-san, you decided to follow me. Would you be upset if I expected your help in this matter?
Man, why didn't you say so earlier? Why'd you have to tell me last minute?
If I had told you then, your face would have given my plan away. I can't say I had much faith in your crafty side.
The Jingwan Mafia will eventually be rebuilt, but you have no right to be its leader. Don't you dare assume JoonGiHan's name, traitor!
You scared?
Watch me.
You're in it now!
Yakuza?
Take this! Try this! I got this! Cool!
Eyes on
Check possible beaten by this fake?
Kasuga-san, stay on your guard and make sure none of them escape.
Yeah, sure thing. But, what do you plan to do with these guys? We've done enough. You're not set on killing them, are you?
I suppose we'll just wait and see.
Yansu Kim isn't capable of that. He's JoonGiHan in face only. Second-rate trash. Once the boss was gone, he took off running. He's completely useless. Well, what's your excuse? Why be a double if you can't die like one?
I concede that I failed to serve my purpose as a body double. And I cannot refute being called useless. It is as you say. However, the reason I've chosen to remain JoonGiHan, even now, is for all of you. I have no intention of leading the Jingon Mafia.
What?
Gotta say, I'm lost here too.
The day JoonGiHan was killed and the organization crumbled, what were each of you doing? And where?
Huh? What are you getting at?
You were most likely without a place to go, surviving with little or no purpose, were you not? We were a people who had finally found their place, thanks to JoonGiHan. It was our only place. After the organization was lost, there was nowhere any of us could turn to. The same was true for me as well. It was by luck, and luck alone, that I was saved by Ijincho's Komijul. I wanted to help. I wanted to offer my hand to those of you that had lost everything of the lives they had once known. However, I had no way of finding all of you once you had dispersed and gone into hiding. That being the case, rather than search for you individually, I decided I'd have you come to Ijincho. If rumors of your dead boss wandering the streets surfaced, you wouldn't be able to resist seeing if they were true. And should you have come to reason that said person was your boss's double,
We knew you guys wouldn't be able to let that slide, and you'd come out for blood. Sooner or later, you'd all make your way down to Ijincho.
You really did this to help us?
yes. If you'd been sniffing around down here, then surely you would have heard about the Komijul at some point. Although I imagine the origins of the Komijul never made themselves known to you.
What origins?
The Komijul are Jingon Mafia refugees, those who were sent to Kamurocho by the mainland and lost.
What?
By the end of the 1980s, the ones who managed to escape found shelter here in Ijincho, Yokohama's gray zone. The Komijul had been ready to help those like you and me. I've remained JoonGiHan so that you might take my hand and come home. It's been my aim to see that not a single one of us gets left behind.
So it's true. It really was for all of us.
Son of a bitch, man. Why you always gotta be so cool?
My apologies for causing you so much trouble. Thank you, Kasuga-san.
So, are those guys gonna join up with the Komijul?
Yes, as long as people have a place to call home, they will always have the courage to go out and fight. I'm hoping they'll use the Komijul as footing and eventually stand on their own.
That's gotta be the most sentimental thing a dude dressed like that has ever said, man.
This outfit belongs to the boss I respected. If you're going to make fun of it, I'll be forced to defend his honor.
Wait, huh? Come on, dude, lighten up. I'm just giving you a hard time.
Some jokes cross into slander, and that I cannot abide. If it wasn't coming from you, that is.
Huh?
You know, outside of Song Hui, you are the only person I've ever revealed myself to. There is nothing more to hide at this point.
So, how's it feel? Bet you're pretty relieved, huh?
As much as I'd hate to admit it, you're right. It's nice to take off the mask sometimes. So, would that make us friends at this point, Kasuga-san?
You really asking for confirmation? I didn't think you were the type.
My apologies.